Welcome to another episode of the State of the Bulldogs. Sam, Mike, Jeb, and Grant. Another quad box following the emergency pod on Sunday about Chris Hatcher's departure. Boys, we have a lot to catch up on. Basketball season starting off okay. Women's soccer selection show was Monday. We got Florida State, shocker, in Tallahassee round one. They're pretty good. And women's basketball, licking their wounds from the Nebraska loss, but a lot to catch up on. First, boys, we will hit on football, but first, women's soccer. So we haven't spoken, I think, since the playoffs kicked off, or the SoCon tournament kicked off. Let's talk about the thrilling overtime victory against Furman. Overtime, Samford up 2-0. Furman ties it up. A quick answer on the second goal to make it 2-1, but then they tie it up for good 70-80 minute mark before we go into overtime, and then we go into two overtimes, down a girl, and then get not a controversial, but one that may not have been called a penalty in every circumstance, and kick it home for the win to advance to the championship round against Mercer, which obviously went our way despite giving up what is becoming kind of a trend, an early quick goal in big games. We can't afford to have one of those against Florida State. But Grant, talk to us a little bit about the Furman game.
Yeah, Furman game was pretty wild. You got the quote-unquote lucky penalty there in the second overtime, down a woman to get this goal and move on to Mercer. Then Mercer, like you said, Mercer goes up 1-0, quick offense. Samford's like, okay, we need to bounce back again. And sure enough, they end up winning 4-1. They score 4 unanswered to get another ticket back to the NCAA tournament. It was pretty wild back and forth. Like even Coach Hilton was like, I don't know if I expected a 4-1 coming in. With Mercer scored in the second minute, and then Samford went on to score in the 22nd, 46th, the 59th, and then again in the 71st to put it away. And Mercer was a 6 seed coming into the tournament. And so, yeah, Samford going back to the NCAA tournament back-to-back years. Again, going back to Tallahassee to play Florida State. Yeah. And here was Coach Yeldon post the championship game against Mercer.
You win your 7th SoCon tournament championship. Just your thoughts on the day.
Well, I don't know if I saw 4-1 when you went down 1-0 a minute and 38 into the game, but I mean, this group's pretty resilient, and got a lot of good players and high character kids, I'll be honest, I think it's pretty impressive what Mercer did getting through last weekend, getting here with the injuries that they've had. So, it was the NCAA tournament, that's really what it's all about, right? I mean, you go from being one of whatever, like 350 to one of 64, and, it's just really proud of my kids, to be honest with you.
Yeah, four different girls scored today. Just the balance of the team there.
Well, I mean, I don't know. What is that, 45 goals maybe or something we scored this year? So, and that's been the way for us. I know Sam has carried a good portion of that workload, but everybody else has chipped in and done their part. And the funny part is the conversations we had before season started, like we're going to be able to score enough goals. I think our kids have answered that in bushels, to be honest with you.
Sam, just to shoot the term 15 goals in the season, just talk about the year she's had.
I mean 15 right now. She's one behind Jermaine, and in my mind, Jermaine's one of the best to pull on the jersey here, right? And super proud of her getting going to Hall of Fame this year. So, but yeah, it's pretty fantastic. But that didn't just happen overnight. That she put in a lot of sweat equity this summer, and so proud of her.
DeLuca's a stud. We're going to need her to pour some balls into the net on Friday, but so far this season, 15 goals, unstoppable.
Grant, you're on mute. I feel like I'm back in the office.
And mute button got Grant, but again, Samford, 45 goals for Samford on the season, like Coach Yeldon mentioned. They've only allowed 17 all season, so that puts into effect how many goals they scored versus how many they gave up. Yeah,
it's wild.
It is. And it was one of those things where, all right, Mercer scores early. We talked about this game before. I guess we must have talked about this last week because or maybe we talked about if we get past Furman, we're going to see Mercer. Maybe that game had been decided. I can't remember. But I definitely remember looking at the score from the Mercer regular season game, and we felt pretty confident given that result. And so even when Mercer went up 1-0, you're like, okay, girls will settle in. We're going to be all right. And then 4-1, absolute explosion. And we're going to have that momentum carry forward to Florida State. Looking over their roster, they're pretty dadgum good. They have this girl, her name's Rihanna Hudson, sophomore. She is 6'2". She was on the ACC all-freshman team last season. She leads the team in goals with 11. She's incredible. Florida State is 10-2-4 overall in the season. Wins against Florida 5-0, FIU 2-0, tie against Kansas, beat Stetson 7-0, FAU 5-0, Louisville 2-0, Syracuse 4-0, ranked top 25 North Carolina in Chapel Hill 1-0, tied NC State 1-1, beat Miami 3-0, lost to number 2 Notre Dame 2-4 in South Bend, and then lost to number 2, I guess at the time again, Stanford. So playing the number 2 team back-to-back weeks, 1-2 at home, tying Cal, and then knocking off top 5 Virginia 3-2, and beating Wake Forest 4-1 to cap off the regular season before losing to Virginia in penalties in the ACC tournament. They're good. They were good last year. They're good this year. It's going to take a little bit of luck if we somehow beat them. Match is set for 5 o'clock Eastern on Friday. If we somehow beat them, we would play the winner of Lipscomb and Mississippi State 6 days later on the 20th. So that seems like if you could get past Florida State, who is, a 3 seed.
Last year, they're the number 1 overall seed. We played and we lost 8-0, and then the number 3 overall seed this year. So just
it's good. It's good.
Again, tough. Obviously, having to go to Tallahassee every time we're in the postseason doesn't matter the sport.
It sucks.
I think they're, if I'm looking at the bracket correctly, I don't think they're the 3 overall. They're a 3 seed out of. It's kind of like the basketball tournament, isn't it?
It's, I don't know. To be honest,
in this bracket, like we're in the top left. Notre Dame's the 1 seed,
but they don't have enough
2
corresponding 2s, 3s, 4s. Like there's 2 5s, there's 2 4s, there's 2 3s. There's not 4 of them, so I don't know how that works. I guess okay, yeah. So they seed the top 14 teams, and so Florida State's, by being a 3 seed, they're in the top 6. Is basically what I'm looking at.
So still good.
Still very good.
Not bad.
Yeah,
Still probably going to win. Yeah. But it's not as insurmountable as last year. And we have DeLuca, who's rolling in hot. I mean, you never know. But 6'2" as their primary strikers, a little scary.
That's tall.
And I imagine that
some
she's
of our
fast.
men's basketball players.
We'll get to that. She might be able to start on that squad. But yeah, women's soccer, uphill battle. But a heck of a season. Love winning the SoCon tournament. Back-to-back seasons for them. Huge accomplishment. Yelton has that thing rolling and has for 20-some-odd years. So definitely, I mean, I feel like he's probably the best coach of any sport in school history. That feels like a slam dunk without doing too much research. But I can't imagine someone having this kind of track record, this much longevity. It's got to be. We can look into that, but that feels.
I mean, obviously, you've got like your Bobby Bowden, but his claim is outside of Samford in terms of somebody that's stuck around who has probably had job offers to go jump to the SEC or the ACC. I would have to imagine. Maybe not, but it's pretty impressive.
Then Casey Dunn would also be in that conversation as well, of just like the putting Samford baseball on the map basically before going over to UAB. But yeah, Yelton is definitely number 1 considered.
Dunn is Dunn's in the conversation. There's no doubt about that, because he's similar deal. They built the program from scratch, put it on the map, made it a conference powerhouse. But I don't know. Yelton's still here. Dunn's not. That means a lot.
How about you? Yeah, UAB baseball can't even make their own conference tournament, so maybe we got the better end of that deal.
I think if he had to go back and do it all over again, I'm not so sure he goes to UAB. That place is a cluster. But let's jump to football real quick. So we obviously dropped the game to ETSU that led to Coach Hatcher's release. It was not a pretty game. The quarterbacks, again, we had Brady Stober and Quincy Crittenton. They combined for 256 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. I guess the good thing is we only gave up 363 through the air because we gave up 254 on the ground. It was not a good day. The only bright spot, Daniel Pickett III, freshman wide receiver from Jasper, Tennessee, led the team in receiving at 90 yards. And that's all I got, boys. That's all I got. We got Austin Peay this week. They're really good.
It's gonna be Jimbo's favorite target, so we'll see.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Jimbo. Austin Peay's quarterback, Chris Parson, obviously leads the team in passing, also leads the team in rushing at 656 yards. Dude is a beast. And he's probably going to have a career day. So, unless, interim coach Scott Sloan can find an entirely new defense, it's going to be a long day because Austin Peay is good. They beat MTSU this season to kick it off, 34-14. And I know that MTSU is not good, but my goodness, beating an FBS team 34-14 is impressive. Only lost to Georgia 28-6, feels impressive. Blew out Morehead State, lost to top 25 Abilene Christian on the road 45-31. Beat Utah Tech, beat West Georgia 44-30. Lost to Eastern Kentucky, but beat North Alabama 56-28. Lost to Southern Utah, and then coming off a win against Central Arkansas 41-38. They're pretty good. I don't know if they're ranked. I'm sure that they're probably flirting with an at-large bid just because of the Middle Tennessee win is going to look really nice on a resume. Top 25 win against West Georgia, but I'm not honestly sure what the losses to EKU or Southern Utah necessarily do for their analytical rankings. But solid squad in Austin Peay and going to be a challenge for the Bulldogs.
I feel so sad, so bad for these players on our team because not only they're 1-9, their coach just got fired, but now they've got 2 non-conference games to finish the season, one of which is against the number 3 team in the country.
Yes.
What's the point?
Yes.
Crazy.
Fun. The A&M game is going to be terrible. Surely the A&M team just plays their freshmen or their JV squad.
I've kind of been talking on mute.
Welcome.
Yeah, welcome to the podcast. My name's Jeb. Been here. Yeah. Didn't we get paid? We obviously got paid. It was part of Bucky's deal to play them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're getting paid.
Yeah, it was
$400,000.
I think it was $550K for the game. Bucky's buyout was $850. So, and then whatever we got from Baylor. So basically, we're getting $2 million, give or take, from the state of Texas this season for all of our programs. So cool.
God bless Texas.
To get wrecked 75-0.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which is my score, by the way. Austin Peay is probably 56-7.
That feels right.
Honestly, yeah. Where are we getting 7 points from, though?
Well, we'll score. Their defense isn't unstoppable. I think we'll get at least 2. I think it's 56-14. I think we can get 14 points.
We scored a memorable touchdown against Baylor. I'm sure we can do 7 points against Austin Peay.
That ball's still
had to have been the
air.
hardest earned touchdown of the year, right?
Can't wait to see what trick play they drum up against A&M that we score on in a couple of weeks.
Is Scott Sloan a dark horse for head coach if he wins out?
No, that's the only part of
it. That means he beats Texas A&M.
Give him a lifetime contract.
Yeah, might as well. Yeah, if he beats A&M, he can do it. He can have what he wants. Yeah.
Hopefully, his agent during the interim negotiations was like, "Hey, if we beat A&M, I need a $10 million bonus." just for throwing it in because you never know.
Give him the whole $550.
Yeah.
That's right.
Every penny that we got paid to go play them.
Yeah, you don't get what you don't ask for. So if you ask
Hatcher's
for it,
entire
you guys got a
buyout
shot.
fund.
Then Kirk Herbstreit will be really reeling after that.
Mercer clinches the SoCon, beats Western in a wild game. I think I can subscribe to FCS or Reddit FCS's take that Western is not good enough for the playoff because their defense is so atrocious. Taron Dickens only threw for 550 yards and like 6 touchdowns, and they still lost the game somehow, or maybe even 7 touchdowns. But couldn't get the field goal. 30-yard chip shot. Looked like it was good. Whole stadium thought it was good.
551 yards and 7 touchdowns.
And you lose. How is that possible?
Dickens is going to love playing for Bill Belichick next fall, so North Carolina. So it's going to be great.
He'd be electric in the ACC. They need a quarterback in that conference. Shoot, they need a quarterback in every conference. Isn't that something y'all have noticed this year? FCS, FBS, quarterback play seems down. Unless your name's Ty Simpson.
Yeah, Mateer's pretty subpar.
Taron Dickens.
Mid. Anyway, Mercer wins the SoCon. Congratulations, Coach Jacobs. Back-to-back years. He's built a wagon. I hope he gets out of this conference. Because if not, Mercer's going to three-peat. All right, boys. Let's get to... Is it basketball time?
Thank God, finally.
Finally.
Yes.
Thank God. Basketball. Grant, Mike, Jeb. Take it away.
Samford started the season 1-0, or excuse me, 1-1. Lost to Tulane 85-72. A game that kind of went back and forth, but Tulane was a game of runs. Tulane went on a 14-0 run to kind of extend the lead and kind of take care of that one. Jaden Booth has been the story in that one. It was the story all week against Tulane in 35 minutes. He had 34 points, 3 boards, 9 of 17 from 3. His 9 threes tied a school record for the number in a game with 9, and then he followed that up against South Carolina State in the 82-72 win. Booth played 38 minutes at 26 points, 6 boards, 9 of 10 from the free throw line, 5 threes from the outside, 5 of 10, 50%. Dylan Faulkner added 19 and 3 as well. And then Keaton Norris, Samford's point guard, was a big helping Samford in the rebounding margin. He had 7 rebounds as a point guard. Pretty sick to have your point guard have 7 rebounds. He had 11 and 7. Jackson Pollard had 10. So Samford basically just find a way to win is basically the whole South Carolina State mantra. We don't really care how it looks. We'll figure out how the team is kind of gelling with all these new guys. But basically just get the win. So Samford is 1-1 so far. If there's anything else y'all saw from those 2 games that caught your eye.
It sounds cliche, but it does seem like if we make our shots, we'll have a chance to win. Because we do not have the athleticism to not make our shots. I love, though, especially the Tulane game, the rebounding, the effort, the energy. That's there. That's what you love to see. These guys, because that's how you gel pretty quick is when you play hard. So that was exciting. And I don't really care how close the margin against South Carolina State was. I think we played a pretty good game.
I think there's a lot of stuff. Obviously, this team will hopefully clean up some things, but like we're not making free throws. We're like missing some simple layups here and there. It's like kind of sloppy
everywhere
on offense. And then the other part that's super concerning, and Mike called this out before in the basketball preview episode, was that like we got to get more offense from other players. Jaden Booth is, I mean, I think it's awesome. Like he's really good.
Yeah.
But like our offense is kind of running through him the last 2 games, and Michael called that.
Yeah, not to toot my own horn, but I do think I said, and I quote, we're going to get 40 from Booth and 15 from Faulkner, where the rest of the points going to come from in that 2-win game.
Yeah,
and I think we had 22 combined points from the rest of the team. So
yeah,
that was rough.
Yeah. Who's gonna score outside of those top 3? Jaden, Dylan, and Keaton. Who's going to step up with Humphrey being out? We talked about all this in our preseason show that we did, and Mike touched on it too. But yeah, that's kind of the main thought. If Jaden's going to play 35 to 40 minutes a game, basically, like even I got nervous when he got taken out of the game, or I saw he was out of the game, and I looked down the floor. I said, okay, Faulkner wasn't out there either. Okay, which of these 5 are going to score? And then Jaden got subbed in immediately, and then he was like, oh gosh, we need to score in there. So that's going to come. And when Jaden isn't hitting his shots, who else is going to step up and kind of be that guy? Campbell Finch, the freshman, provided some really solid minutes, 19 minutes. He's going to be really good. Lenny loves the way he plays. He kind of adds an extra element of kind of speed and quickness that Samford has. Lenny kind of called it. He's got more north-south to him. He can take it to the rim. So he's going to be a really, really good player. So that's a really good find by Bucky and his staff. And luckily that Lenny held on to him.
Norris. Yeah, Grant said, like, Jaden Booth's averaging 36.4 minutes per game and 30 points
40
per game.
Somebody will step up.
52% from 3-point.
It's stupid.
They're definitely still trying to figure out that fifth man too, because Bornstead started the first game, really didn't contribute really at all. Cade Norris had a big game, so Cade Norris slides into the starting lineup against South Carolina State. He played okay against South Carolina State. Bornstead had a better game coming off the bench, so it's like I don't know what they're going to do with that fifth spot.
It's fair.
But also, I feel like, at least against Tulane, we had so many empty minutes from the bench players where they came into the game but could not name one thing they did to contribute to the game. Obviously, they didn't score. We know that. But just kind of felt like they weren't involved. And it's been over a week since that game was played, so I don't recall everything that happened. But it just kind of felt like very unmemorable from a lot of those guys.
Yeah, you got Bornstead played 10 minutes against Tulane, no points, no boards. Cade, 28 minutes off the bench, but then you go to Zion, 16 minutes, a couple of boards, no points. Cam Martin, 11 minutes, no points. Campbell Finch played better game 2, but game 1, 10 minutes, no points. Yeah, it's just going to find who's going to be the guy off the bench. Maybe it is Isaiah coming off and kind of being that guy. He did hit a couple corner threes, which was nice against South Carolina State, especially Cam Martin, who didn't score in both games. Is he going to kind of be that guy filling in for Humphrey? You just don't know at this point.
I mean, we'll have plenty of opportunity for somebody to develop into that role, but that's the fun part of the non-conference is figuring out who is going to be, the third scorer, the fifth guy. Gives you something to watch when we play some of these random teams. Although it feels like we play Texas Southern every dadgum year now. They might as well join the SoCon or ASUN Alliance.
What are y'all's thoughts on Dylan Faulkner's usage and our strategy in getting him the ball? Like, do you feel like we're doing enough to feed him?
I think there's certain times he's going to need more touches. He's going to – there's certain times where he's got position. You just can't get the ball inside to him. I think happened a couple of times. I can't remember who it was. Maybe Kate kind of struggled. But I think they will kind of figure out how to use him a little more. Can he stretch forward a little bit more too? That would be kind of nice, kind of clearing up the lane he was clogging up. But yeah, there's got to be some more paint touches for him, and he can finish. He's only 6'8", but he's long enough. He's got long arms where he can kind of finish around the rim basket and can protect the rim too on the other side. But yeah, I think it will be interesting to see how more involved he can get, because obviously he can kind of lead Samford if Jaden's not producing, which we haven't seen yet, obviously.
Yeah, especially against Tulane, I would have liked us try to, and maybe it's because Jaden was shooting so well, but would have liked to see us kind of force the ball down to him and just kind of let him work on the block, because obviously he's got really good footwork and he's kind of got the ability to get his own rebound and create second, third opportunities or draw a foul, but that's useless because he's shooting 40% from the free throw right now. So maybe that's why we're not feeding him enough.
Yeah, in Tulane, we're in that 1-3-1 too, where it's hard to find a way to penetrate and get inside. South Carolina State ran a press, which really bothered some of Samford's lack of length and athleticism. South Carolina State is a pretty big team. They had a lot of guys that are 6'9", 6'8". But yeah, Phil, with Faulkner, we interviewed Jaden and Dylan after, and Dylan walked into the media room and saw his score sheet. He's like, free throws, oh my gosh. So at least he knows that, hey, we need to work on free throws. Even Lenny, in his opening statement, he turned and looked at Dylan and was like, we're going to work on free throws. Dylan said, yes, sir, we're working on free throws. So we'll see what kind of improvement that is. But yeah, he was Samford missed 12 or 13 against South Carolina State free throws, which is at home, which is obviously no bueno.
We were 24 for 37, shooting 65%.
There you go. Yeah, Faulkner 3 for 7, Jay 9 for 10, obviously, but yeah, Dylan 3 for 7 against.
I mean, if
State.
We would have made our free throws against Tulane, it would have been a better game.
Yeah.
Faulkner looks like he could be a beast, though. He's fun to watch. So, Mike, I don't know how you get him the ball, but you got to get him the ball more.
But it work. Anytime he touches the ball in the post, I'm optimistic.
I'm worried that the dynamic on the Does it feel like Jaden Booth is? I kind of go back and forth on this. Does he feel like he's got to score because we're not scoring in other areas? So he's like, all right, I'm going to score. Or is it that we've got another guy on our hands who's kind of like
Quez Glover.
Quez, where he's just like throwing balls up?
I think he's doing it
kind of
to
being
keep
a
it
hog.
close.
Yeah.
It's early this season. We're 2 games in, you know?
I know, but I just, you know, I'm watching the game and I'm like, please don't be like that.
Definitely or like instances in that game or both games really where you're like, all right, you settle down a little bit. Like, it's kind of a heat check. You shouldn't have taken that shot. But at the end of the day, you know, if he's shooting at that high percentage, yeah, exactly. Just let him shoot. He's going to miss a couple. He's going to airball a couple. He's going to turn it over. But it makes up for it when he's.
I mean, if you make 58% of your free throws, like
right, it's like you didn't shoot enough.
Your 3-pointers, not free throws. 3-pointers, like please keep shooting.
Yeah, it's almost like any shot he takes is a good shot. I don't care where it is. What obviously there's bad shots to take and whatnot, but like any shot he puts up is like, well, I guess this is about to go in. Even if it does, like, okay, good. At least somebody's taking kind of the initiative. But yeah, he's again, as Sam said, only 2 games in, they'll find their water and find another scorer off the bench.
I mean, to your point, Jeb, let's hope he's not like a Quez. Because if he is, then that's going to stunt the development of finding your 3rd, 4th scorer. And then we'll just be hamstrung the entire season. And that'll be awesome. Not.
I'm optimistic, though. Like, you know, I think they'll figure it out.
Yeah, I don't think Acuff is the coach to put up with a guy like Quez.
No.
You know, that's for all the cons or for all the differences in a Lenny versus Bucky roster system. That's at least one thing I don't think we have to contend with a Lenny team. I don't think there's going to be a big me guy on the team. Could be wrong. Like, we're only 2 games into a whole new team, but that just is not the vibe I get, fortunately. And not that Bucky was trying to get those guys, but that's inherently what happens when you try to go for the best possible athlete you can get.
Yeah, and that was kind of the time, too. The team around him, Jermaine wasn't the player he would kind of turn into. He's kind of growing into that. So, again, Quez kind of had to carry a lot of the work since the other guys weren't up to that level. Maybe if he stayed around for his senior year and he was the point guard instead of Ryland, maybe it's better, obviously, because Jaden, you have other help around him. I don't know about better, but I mean, you have other help around him to where he doesn't have to shoulder the load. Maybe that's just who he is. You just don't know. But
no, that's
I mean, it worked out, so who cares at that point? But yeah,
I mean, we didn't dislike Quez till it was too late.
Till he quit on us.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
What's up with Caleb Harrison? Is he just not going to play?
It's 2 games in. Maybe he doesn't know the calls.
It seemed like he played pretty well or looked promising in that exhibition game, and I don't think he can redshirt 2 years in a row. So,
right.
No.
I'm surprised he's not at least getting, 5 minutes of just getting your feet wet.
Yeah, we'll see how that kind of looks as we obviously continue on. But yeah, that was interesting where, I mean, there's still some other guys in his position, obviously. But again, you kind of got to get him out there and just see what it looks like if you're still developing that bench, it would help to have another nice option out there just in case you needed him. But yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah.
We are pretty
with
set at the 4 or 5 spot. So
yeah.
But depth is great there.
Yeah, we got a big week this week with 3 games coming up. So
he's going to take maybe Zion's minutes, maybe some of Will Shaver's minutes, but I don't know that.
Yeah,
those guys are already kind of slim on minutes, so you can't really. I don't know how you work them in.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. Zion has the defensive capabilities we mentioned, but again, what, if any, offense is he going to have out there? Because he's kind of a non-factor. If he can't provide any kind of offense out there, it's like, oh, shoot, that's why Jaden ends up shooting a lot. So we'll see how it kind of works out over this week and see what kind of improvements they make with the 3-game week all on the road.
And that's what's tough about a guy like him is like you can develop your offense, but it takes a lot of game reps. It's not just going to happen in practice over the couple of years. So maybe you just kind of have to live with Zion not contributing offensively.
He looks like the track runner that is playing intramural basketball, and you can tell he's the most athletic kid out there, but he has no hand-eye coordination.
Yeah, and he's only a true sophomore too. So again, no room to grow. Didn't play a whole ton last year, as Bucky kind of mentioned when we talked with him. So yeah, there's still obviously room for improvement. We'll see how that kind of transition with those more minutes as we kind of go along. But again, as we keep saying, which one of the bench is kind of going to perform and help those big three when it comes to scoring.
Yeah, we'll see. So we got Texas Wesleyan and A&M. Is A&M this week?
What? Arkansas?
Arkansas.
Texas Southern?
Sorry, Texas Southern.
Arkansas is Friday night.
What did I say? Texas Wesleyan?
Yeah.
That's where my grandparents went to college.
So Texas Southern on Wednesday.
And Arkansas.
Texas Southern.
Time
Texas
not
Southern
set yet.
Wednesday. Yeah, Texas Southern on Wednesday and Houston at 7. At Arkansas Friday, and then you're at Central Arkansas on Sunday before we'll have another pod out next week before they host Florida Gulf Coast. Texas Southern is coming off. They played a couple big games to start with. They played Gonzaga to start the year, and then they played Bucky down in College Station, and they gave up 104 to A&M. So we'll see how they are at home. And same as you kind of mentioned, it feels like we played them every year just because of the home and home they've kind of had. But yeah, this is the other extension of the next home and home that we had with them. So they were already on the schedule before the coaching change.
Hey, I love it. I'm not complaining. I've watched Texas Southern game at their gym. Not a bad place.
They play Biblical Stud on the 26th of November. Do we know who that is?
Nope.
No logo. That's too bright. You can't see it.
That's way too bright.
No idea.
Biblical Stud?
Yeah, Biblical Studies. Yeah, they play.
Oh, Biblical Study Ambassadors. What?
What?
At least they play
averaging 38.7 points per game, 24.8 field goal percentage.
Yeah, at least they don't play the Mississippi University for women. That's another school out there that's playing some non-con games this year. Yeah.
That Texas Southern game says TBD on ESPN. Does that mean this is going to be one of those YouTube live streams again?
I hope not.
I guess. Actually, did we? Who was it last year where there wasn't? I can't remember who it was where there wasn't a stream. So
it is a YouTube game, Mike. Dang.
For 2 years ago, I was watching the live stream because it started before the game. The commentators,
that's right.
The live stream was on, and they're like cussing on the live stream, like, "Oh, we're live."
Yeah. Yeah, he said BS, and then like a second later, it's like, "Oh wait, are we live?" And then there's a pause, and he's like, "Welcome into Texas Southern and Samford."
That was great.
We are not playing Texas Wesleyan, my grandparents' alma mater. I don't even know if that school still exists. But
isn't that just UTEP now? Isn't that from the movie?
No.
Yeah, I think isn't that
maybe it was
from
like part
Glory
of it,
Road?
but
yeah, Glory Road. Yeah.
They were something else. I mean, maybe it was the same. Like
in El
maybe
Paso?
it was the sister campus, but no, they went to school in Fort Worth.
Man, the ESPN matchup predictor has us at 60%.
I think we're going to win this game. I do not think we're going to win the Arkansas game.
Mike, that was the Texas Miners was the school in Glory Road that turned. There you go. That turned into UTEP. Okay, yeah.
Bummer.
Yeah,
I was excited to tune in a little early on Wednesday. Pre-game entertainment.
Yeah, so we're beating Arkansas, right? Is that what you said, Sam? Yeah.
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 They didn't look that great against. Who'd they play?
They lost to Michigan State. Who loses to Michigan State?
Great game. Arkansas had thank you. That jogged the memory. Arkansas had so many chances to tie that game. I kept flipping back when they were in the 30-minute long last 2 minutes of the game. And Michigan State could not exceed the 3-point lead. Even though Arkansas kept giving them attempts at the line and opportunities, Arkansas still had shots to tie it up. Couldn't do it.
Trey Ford played 15 minutes for Michigan State.
I was going to say, Trey Ford started. And I'm just saying, if you look at like last year's Samford roster and where those guys ended up, it's kind of shocking that they didn't win the SoCon.
Agreed. Brownell actually scored like 15 points for USC.
Riley's starting at Providence, right? George Mason. Yeah, big difference.
Lucas was the only one that didn't do anything this past week.
Yeah, I tweeted that out. I went through the box scores of all the guys and kind of their first kind of matchups or first games at their new schools. I need to go find it. I included Achor and AJ, who are both at new schools in that front, but I can't. I need to go back and find it. But
yeah, where's AJ again?
He's at Seton Hall.
That's right. That's sweet. That's with the Pirates.
Here's a cool thing. Tomorrow night, you can watch Central Arkansas play Arkansas, and you'll scout our next 2 games after the Texas Southern game.
They'll have to catch the replay because this will drop Wednesday. They play Tuesday, Jeb?
Yeah, tomorrow. Yep.
Yeah.
So we're recording on Monday. game is on Tuesday, so you have to catch the recording. But both
That's
Central
interesting.
Arkansas and Arkansas is playing each other. Like they're kind of swapping opponents. It's kind of
That's
cool.
sweet.
Yeah.
I'm more so curious just to see Central Arkansas.
Yeah. Also, Larry started down at FIU, so AJ, Achor, Riley, and Larry all started their openers for their schools.
Is it bad? I forgot about Larry.
He was a fan favorite
so.
after the first game.
But
He's blocking shots.
he got
This guy was
hurt,
awesome.
right?
No, he
No,
played.
he just
Okay.
kind
Wasn't
of
good.
didn't have offensive abilities.
Yeah, and he had 25 points, 7 boards, and 6 steals, and whoever they played in their opener, I think it was a D2, but still 21 minutes, pretty impressive from the guy who had trouble scoring last year.
Wait, Larry
Yeah.
had 25 points.
Yeah, 25 points, 7 boards, 6 steals, and FIU's opener. It was, in fact, it might have been a biblical studies type team that they played. But
Guys, I hate to say it, but maybe Bucky was the
was-
problem.
Yeah, maybe.
It's not
Yeah,
what
they played
A&M wants to hear.
yeah, they played some local school down Florida National down in Florida. Then against Nebraska, they lost by 30, but Larry had 12 points in that one. He was their leading scorer against Nebraska. So
Is Bucky the Hugh Freeze of basketball? Great talent accumulator, poor executioner.
I don't know. What's Bucky's handicap?
It's probably pretty low.
yeah, it's pretty good. But, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
man, that's good. All right, boys. Women's basketball lost to Nebraska 80-46, but we did beat Montevallo. All right, there's something to be said for that. 75-53, and then we did a little Florida tour. We got the Gators on Thursday, Florida A&M on Saturday. Not sure if they're going to catch the bus ride back with the soccer team, who's going to be in Tallahassee that Friday evening, but they may. And then we'll be back on before the Alabama game, November 19th. But obviously, take the L against Florida, and then we'll see what we can do against Florida A&M. But women's basketball showing some promise. Showing some promise. I don't know if Nebraska is going to be any good, but watched a couple of minutes of that, and I don't know. I think we're gonna be okay.
They held Claire Johnson to 0 points in 21 minutes, so there's that.
I totally forgot about that storyline, Grant. I would have.
I was
totally
just
forgot.
to say I thought she transferred. I guess she did.
Yeah, to Nebraska.
Yeah, she was their leading scorer in their opener, and then Samford defense clamped down on her and didn't let her score against us. So look at that.
Maybe she felt sorry for us.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, they've got a weird team. They've got a lot of freshmen, and then it's basically all seniors and freshmen. So it's kind of interesting mix.
It's it's like the
team
team. What was it? 3 years ago or 2 years ago? 3 years ago, maybe 3 years ago, where it felt like we were going to be able to build something because we had some promising freshmen, and then it turned out we did. We had some pretty good freshmen, but we'll see.
Yep. It's all football coaching search time now. Fun.
Yep. Jimbo Fisher. Not going to happen.
Freddie Kitchens.
Philip Rivers. Not going to happen.
We got to talk about Philip Rivers.
Freddie Kitchens, though.
I've been talking again on mute, but yeah, Philip Rivers.
Oh, hey,
Freddie
Joe.
Stole your
Kitchens.
thunder, Jeb.
Welcome back.
Yeah,
Good old Phil Rivers, Carolina or NC State rather, but
yeah, but he's from Alabama.
It's an Alabama kid.
that's all right.
He's living there now.
Yeah, we'll
Coaching
see
high
if
school football.
Birmingham's got enough houses with 25 rooms for all of his children. He's got with all 12 kids moving to Birmingham.
I'm sure he's fine.
Sure, that'll be a big sticking point if he wants to make the move. We'll see what the housing market looks
take
like.
I think they
Overall
can
Smith.
figure that one out.
Yeah,
Gary,
so-
you can make some room at your place, right? If you need to.
Sure, if he wants to take the job, we'll figure it out. Yeah, we'll figure it out. Yeah.
They can just take a dorm on campus if he wants to be the head coach. I mean, shoot.
Time to clear out the fourth floor of Smith. Sorry, guys.
You
We
can
got
have
Phil
the
Rivers family
Rotunda
coming in.
He can have the Rotunda Club.
Yeah.
Family communal bathroom.
Sorry, the Rivers family now has the fourth floor of Smith. Sorry, you have now to find new housing for the spring semester. Good luck, kids.
I would do it. I would do it.
That would be
President
an
back did say that we're
electric.
very invested in football.
Yeah. From
I'd live in the
Saint-
parking deck in Smith if it meant Philip Rivers was going to be our next head football coach when I was in college. I should add that.
Yeah, not
I was
yeah.
like, what?
Hey, Martin Newton liked my tweet, so
Maybe he's on the line right now.
Yeah, maybe he's on the line right now.
He's like, man, these
By
guys are
then-
doing my job for me.
Yeah, just look at the search firm, the State of the Bulldog search firm, and he'll know where to find us. We're free.
We are so
free of charge.
Whoa. we could name a price.
Well, I mean, I already put his list of
We did,
candidates on
it's
Twitter,
free.
so I mean, there you go. So it's kind of the cat's out of the bag at this point. But he will actually.
Yeah,
by
Grant,
the time,
your Samford official hot board.
yeah, with
Directly from the athletic administration.
with lots of inside information where people were asking, "Is this your list or the
Is
Samford?"
Jimbo really coming?
Yeah, I got like 2 or 3 DMs. Like, no way, Jimbo's a real candidate.
I think
But-
he is like a real candidate by default.
Yeah, I think by default, but yeah,
If we
Like,
can't
I
get
don't
Bill
think
Belichick,
I don't think they'll understand that he has like he went to Samford. You know, like he has a relationship with Samford.
yeah, that's the only. I can make the case for him, but I don't know if I don't know if Mr. Sexton on his line would like the case that I would make for him to come to Samford. But by the time this drops Wednesday, Martin will hold a presser that they'll put out on Tuesday. He'll do a presser in place of where Hatcher will normally record his. So Martin will have something out this week. So we'll hear from him on the change too. So
All right. State of the Bulldogs is out. Hope everybody has a fantastic week. Let's rack some dubs on the basketball side of things. And who knows? Maybe pull off a stunner against Austin Peay. State of the Bulldogs is out.